If you're just starting to get into airsoft or you're interested in airsoft, please do hit the subscribe button. If you are a real still guy and interested in getting into airsoft, do hit the subscribe button also. Like, comment, do all those great things out there. Let's talk about the Lancer Tactical M4. Now, for those of you guys out there that have known me, I've been playing airsoft for quite some time. I want to say about 10 years. And in those 10 years, I've actually gone through quite a bit of airsoft guns, varying from VFC, G&G, Crytek, you name it. And with all those type of guns I've had in there, I've had a couple of airsoft guns that were considered starter guns that didn't last me not even 6 months. I want to say about 3 months, and then you had to upgrade the stock parts just because they weren't designed to last that long. For this type of starter airsoft gun out there that only costs about $100 to $120, you get a lot of stuff in just this airsoft gun. For those of you guys that are wanting to get into airsoft or interested in getting into airsoft, this is something that is really good for you because here's the thing. Why not just go spend $100 on an airsoft gun that you're not throwing too much into for your small investment, just to see if you actually like airsoft. And if you don't like airsoft, then you only spend $100 and you're not going to have a problem down the road. Now, why do I bring up the Lancer Tactical M4? Well, here's the thing. As a starter gun, you don't want a gun that fails on you. I've had a couple airsoft guns out there that would only last a couple months, and it was just unfortunate. And that just has to do with stock OEM parts. You don't want to have a gun that you just spend $100 and then you have a bad impression on airsoft. This thing is about $100, and for a $100 airsoft gun, you get a lot of stuff out of this. For the fact that you have a reliable gearbox out of the box, and then you have a really good amount of range for what you get for it. And I want to say I got beyond 75 yards when I actually went to an event from AMS, which is Copperhead 3. General rule for those of you guys that are just coming into airsoft or those real steel guys, most airsoft guns don't really get beyond 100 yards unless you actually have a really fine-tuned airsoft gun. But with this thing, for what you get out of it, you could get beyond 75 yards. You also have to run good BBs out of here because here's the thing, it's a 603 Type bore barrel, which actually means you get tight groupings, but the problem is that you need to run good BBs out of here. Good thing though, for those of you guys that are using Vulcans, Elite Force, or Lancer Tactical Golden Ball BBs, you'll actually still be fine with that. But for those of you guys that are just going and buying the cheapest brand of BBs off the shelf at Walmart or Academy, I do not recommend that. So, talking about the gearbox in general, here's the trigger response. It's actually pretty good for a starter gun, and that was with an 11.1. Now, here's the thing. I don't use 9.6s just because of how far I've gotten into airsoft, that 11.1s do a better job than 9.6s. If you're just playing airsoft for a couple hours, then a 9.6 will work for you. But for me, when I do airsoft, I want my guns to last as long as possible. Does it come with a 9.6? Yes. Most airsoft guns that you get out of the box only come with an 8.4. That's actually kind of unfortunate. And then there's some guns out there that don't even come with batteries at all. So when you get a starter gun that actually gets you a 9.6 with a battery charger with it, that's actually really good for you guys. And then you also get, I want to say about 1,000 to 1,500 rounds of BBs straight out of the box, just for those of you guys that are interested in trying to get this zeroed down. You also get iron sights on here. I only have the rear iron sight on here because I had to actually have my camera on here. And you also get a high cap with the airsoft gun. Now, when we talk about external quality, the only things that are on here that are actually metal is actually the barrel, the outer barrel, excuse me, your trigger, and then your, I want to say your sling point, and then your dust cover that is made of metal. Now, everything else is made of polymer, and is actually not a cheap plastic like you would see on some of the other airsoft guns that had that reflective plastic finish. I'm not a big fan of that because they do tend to heat up a lot more and they are more prone to actually melting. Talking about saying, so the polymer on here is actually pretty rigid. I've actually fallen on my airsoft gun at Copperhead 3 and it was just because I fell into a hole.
I'm good. Solar plexus. There's a fucking hole right here. Oh, I almost broke my leg.
And then I want to say that Airsoft GI actually did a drop test on the buffer straight down from about 15 feet. It actually lasted pretty well. For me, you know, the unfortunate drop that happened was about a couple feet, and I want to say I slammed the gun down. So for it to actually last, I was actually pretty surprised. So for those of you guys that are actually pretty clumsy, like me, this is actually a pretty good thing for you guys. Another thing to talk about when it comes to your crane stock over here, you actually get a really good buffer tube crane stock. Excuse me. You actually have a place where you can actually fit your lipos, and of course you can fit your 9.6s in here, but I was actually really surprised that I can actually fit my 11.1 lipos in here. So that also means that on the other side you can actually fit your other lipo, which could mean that you can do a parallel setup, or you could actually have your backup battery in your other lipo, or in your other side of your crane stock. Now when it comes to where this stands for a $130 starter airsoft gun, I want to say this is probably one of the best starter airsoft guns to have out there. You also get key mod on here, which most of the time when you get into key mod, it actually tends to be more expensive. For only $20 more, you actually get key mod on here, and this is $120. You have other variants out there saying so the front sight post long barreled M4 that will actually be $100. And then you can also get a shorter version, which will actually get you less FPS for just $100 also. To also talk about FPS, when you have a long barrel version, you only get 400 FPS or lower. When you do a shorter barrel, or saying so a CQC version, then you will get a airsoft gun that will be about 350 FPS. So if you do intend to have a CQC gun, do get a CQC $100 M4. If you do intend to do a lot of field stuff, then just get the long barreled M4 and you'll get a 400 FPS. So for a $100 airsoft gun, I do think it's worth it. Of course, it doesn't compare to, you know, your fully built airsoft gun, but of course you got to spend a lot of money just for it to be like that. So for a $100 airsoft gun, if you guys are just starting to get into airsoft, or you're a real steel guy, I think this is something that will actually be worth $100, that is worth investing into if you just need your initial impressions in airsoft. So for those of you guys that need a backup gun, this is definitely worth $100 to actually have to the side if you need a backup gun. If you have any questions about the Lancer Tactical M4, please do leave them in the comments section down below, and please do rate the video and subscribe to Asian with Hat. This is David Lee from Asian with Hat, and I will see you guys in the next video.